I have been accused of being a wordsmith or taking things too literal. And the reason people have said that about me is because I don't play when it comes to cliches, okay? I understand that when a person says a cliche, or that, number one, I understand that words matter. Let's start there. The words that you say matter. And when you speak the words do not interpret, they don't do anything. Words are just spoken. And as they are spoken, that's the seed that is planted. Let me give you an example. So if a person says, I'm broke, the word broke didn't do anything, nothing. But what they said, they may not have meant that. They may have meant, well, I just don't have a lot of money right now. But that's not what they said. And every word has meaning, it has depth, it carries weight, and it's a seed. So when that person says, I am broke, anytime that word comes up, anytime that situation that they get in that where they said that comes right back every time. And that word is the word broke, and what you're saying and what it means did not change because you meant for it to be something else. So whenever you're quoting a cliche, you have to be careful in the context in which you're speaking. And it's better to really speak what you're saying than the cliche. When you say it is what it is, to me, that's a cliche. And when somebody says that, they like, okay, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do to change it. That's how I view that. So when a person says that, I'm like, okay, and in most cases, I'm looking like, okay, where's your tenacity? Are you giving up? I need to back off. It is a red flag for me because it sounds like somebody who doesn't, like I said, there's no tenacity, there's no fight, there's no change. And at that point, when you leave me like that, whether it's in an argument, if it's at work, whatever it is, where do you go with that? Literally, that's a cliche that sounds like I gave up, I'm done, I don't want to talk about it. There's a period after. There's nothing else to follow. So when I tell people to be careful about cliches, that's exactly what I mean. When people say, I feel a type of way, what does that mean? Generally, that means like you're upset. But what if it just means you don't know how you feel? Nobody knows that unless you give them the interpretation. And if you've got to explain the cliche, wouldn't it just be better to use the words? Words are powerful. There are some words that I do not use. Like the example I gave at first, I don't ever say I'm broke. The devil is a lie. I am never broke. I might be in between blessings. It might be that the way my finances are set up, I can't do that right now, or catch me on a better time. Anything, but it will not be those words because I understand the power of those words. I am not just declaring that I don't have any money. I am declaring that not only do I not have physical cash in my pocket or maybe my bank account, but I'm saying I'm without the means. That's literally what that word means. That is a declarative word that's like without, and I am never without. I may not have the harvest, but I've always got the seed. The seed may be in the ground, but I always have the cultivation. I always have the development. I always have the power to make it happen. So when you start saying all these cliches out here, when you start speaking, and saying the different things, I want you to understand that those words do not go into your head and interpret what you mean at that moment. And when you speak them, you're speaking them out. They recycle, they come all the way back in, and then you wonder why you're fighting yourself to believe something because your words are speaking against what's on the inside. Take the time to say what you mean and mean what you say, or just take the time to not explain at all. Write it down, be strategic, think about it. One of the things I've learned on the journey I'm on right now is that I don't have to explain a lot of things. I spend a lot of times explaining and talking to people that really weren't paying attention anyway. And the more I put my thoughts out in the atmosphere, the more I put them out toward people, the more I put them out, the more there was things out there to block. Because the enemy does not know what you're doing. He can only hear what you say, and he can only read your countenance. So I was given power, and maybe to people who I thought was with me and people who really didn't care. Either way, I was planting seeds in the wrong place. And when I stopped feeling the need to talk, explain, and bring everybody on my journey got a lot lighter, and I was able to make moves better. If the move wasn't right, I was able to pivot. I was able to tell myself where I went wrong and keep going without having to explain, justify, or have somebody point the finger back and let me know it didn't work. Make sense? Words are powerful. And you know why they are powerful? Because the very God who created heaven and earth, he did it all with words. And in that same manner that his word has power, he said greater things than we will do than he did. So he anointed us and gave us the same power with words. When he told Adam how to name, he gave Adam the authority to name every animal and to declare what it was. In that same token, every day that you speak words and that you say things, you are declaring and you are saying things about who you are, what you are, where you're going, what you're going through, how long you're going through. You are making declarative statements every day about where you will be. That's why I'm a wordsmith. That's why I'm literal, because the words you speak are forever ringing in your ear. It's been your girl, Candid with Kim. Watch your mouth.